Hello, my name is Tomisin Akinwunmi, and I am the CEO of Lucid Lemons, and I also run the Lemon Curd event. Lucid Lemons is a platform that has been promoting developing artists for the last 5 years, and the Lemon Curd is our annual music festival that takes place every first August of the year, I guess. So yeah, that's what we do.
Hi, my name is Konyinsola Osinubi. I am a tech YouTuber on YouTube where I basically just review tech for people to buy more or less. My job entirely every single day is to review tech that for people that don't have to, so they can make a very good buying decision by and large. And so far, it's been a great ride, and yeah, that's more or less what I do on a daily basis.
Hi everyone, my name is Deola Adebiyi and I am a music curator and I'm a music curator for UdoX and UdoX is an indigenous Nigerian streaming platform. I also run Playlisters, which is kind of an event where I get people to come with their playlist and play them at restaurants, cafes, basically any space that will take us. We'll share our playlist there. And I also make playlists as well. So I'm excited to have this conversation about music and playlisting.
Awesome. Okay, so we're here today and we're talking about music and playlists.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess where should we start from? Um, Personally, I've been making playlists for as long as I can remember, literally from SoundCloud back in back in 2013
Hmm.
up till now, obviously with Lucid Lemons. And I remember like back then making playlists wasn't such like it wasn't a thing yet.
Yeah.
It was just oh, you're weird. You're putting together music. Are you a
Yeah.
musician? That kind of thing. And like my playlist would be a mix of different artists that people I've probably never heard of. It will be DJs, it will
Hmm.
be producers,
Yeah.
just beats and that kind of thing. People thought that was weird, and it's funny that like over time, like
Yeah.
playlisting has become
It's become
A
a
big
thing.
a
thing.
big
It's a thing
thing.
now,
Like
actually.
everybody
Yeah,
has a
every
playlist.
streaming platform now has a different playlist for different moods.
Yep.
You want to
Yeah.
work out, there's a playlist for you. You want to study up, there's a playlist for you. You're in a
Hmm.
sad mood, there's a playlist for you. I think mine even, I mean, yours stemmed from 2013. Mine was from LimeWire days, 2005 maybe.
Mm.
Downloading music that nobody heard of. I remember back then. I actually when Soldier Boy was coming out with Crank That, I actually downloaded it out. I didn't know how big the song was going to be. So mine started from there, and like you said, people actually thought I was a weird person because I would just do music in one place. Then about when I was in like high school, say GS2, I was the music guy. I
Mm.
come and download the song for me. What's the new song that is in the world today? Hip hop, rap, everything. So and nowadays, it's become so important because for someone like me that does YouTube, it's what's the word I'm looking for? Have you ever gone on YouTube and you just click on one video and it just gives you
Yeah, that's the
Yep.
rabbit
an
hole. You just
info?
go
Yeah,
down. You just
Yep.
go
exactly.
down the
So
rabbit hole like
so
that.
for me, I see playlists as a way to keep people in a particular space, at least for me. So I do tech, for example. I have about 5 or 6 different playlists. So I have one that has to do with reviews that I do. Then there's how-to videos. Then there's Q&As and stuff like that. So just basically giving people what they want. They don't necessarily have to just go into your video pile and just start
Hmm.
looking for which one do I want. It's all in one place for them to see.
Yeah.
So playlisting right now it can only get bigger. I mean, Spotify is okay. Sorry, YouTube Music rather is probably one of the biggest things in Nigeria. They're really trying to push it. And me, I'm a big advocate for YouTube Music. YouTube Music is the only place I know that I can press play and I guarantee you I will not skip one song of that playlist. They just I don't know, maybe it's the algorithm they use. Oh,
Hmm.
come on.
Hmm.
See, I
I'm
will
gonna pitch
advocate
in
it from
Spotify.
now.
I mean,
So I have
I was
Spotify.
about to say,
I have Spotify, I have Deezer, I have YouTube Music, I have Apple Music, I have Tidal and
Boomplay.
Boomplay. I have all 6 of them. Right? I use all of them for different things in different variations. So when I say YouTube Music, for me, till the day this is the hill I would die on.
okay.
YouTube Music, nah. You guys have. I don't. I'm surprised.
Are you sure
Have
you
you
want to
tried it
die?
out? Have you tried it out?
No.
Exactly. Don't knock it till you try.
True.
Well,
True.
you don't think so?
I mean, I've used, well, I mean, because I'm in the business of music. I spend all my day listening to music, checking out playlists and stuff. And I will tell you, like, me
Mm-hmm.
personally, And I don't know if this is a good thing to say. I'm an Apple Music stan, like all day, every day.
Same.
Apple Music.
You okay? Sure. You guys. Let me guess. You guys use Apple Music because you use an iPhone.
Actually, I use
Yes.
Apple Music
There you
because I
go.
enjoy it.
But then I have
actually
Spotify
enjoy.
too, and although the Spotify algorithm for me, like in terms of like not skipping songs, is better, I can't leave Apple Music.
Because you own an iPhone.
Not even.
Not
Just I
bad.
can't.
You
I
can even
just
download
can't.
plenty apps.
As in-
Isn't-
I have Audio Mac, I have Boomplay, I have Deezer, and I have Tidal, and I have Spotify, but I don't use the other ones. Are just there, like, because obviously Lucid
No
Lemons puts
mention
out
of
different.
UdoX. You guys know. Just try it, please.
I
UdoX.
actually have that.
Udo
So that's
X.
the seventh
Udo
one. I
X.
actually
We have
that.
Udo X.
Yeah, she actually made me. I remember she made me download
I
it.
did.
Pretty.
I'm
Yeah,
great. I'm great.
yeah,
Thank
she
God.
tried. Was that a Pharaoh's event?
I hope when your boss watches this, he's like, "That's my girl."
No, for real, for real. I think the first thing I told her, I like the UI itself. It's black, yellow, gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked
Ooh.
it. So that was pretty good itself.
I feel good. I feel good. I'm gonna give a little bit of my own playlist history. So I felt like when you guys were talking about like how you guys started creating playlists, I was like, wow, I'm either old or just because I started on cassette tapes. So I'd listen to the radio.
Sorry, yo.
I'm sorry.
Mama.
Sorry. 30 plus gang. I'm not actually 30 plus, but soon. I would.
Cassettes.
Yeah, because like they would play songs on the radio, and then I would hear a song I'd want to listen to all the time. So I'd just get like a cassette. I would find one of those old cassettes in our house.
And dub it on it.
Exactly, and you can record. You'd have to wait. You'd have to wait by the radio and be like, okay, is this song coming on? Is this song
And
coming
once
on?
they
And
play
once the
it,
song comes, you just press
press
it. You
record.
press record, and you record
Okay,
the song.
low-key,
And then
sha.
later,
Yeah.
you can listen to it. So if you were careful, you could actually have a cassette tape of like 5-6 songs, like that you were able to record from the radio. But if you're not careful, you'd like record.
But we record
You
on it.
record on it and
Yeah.
stuff. So I started with like recording songs on like on cassette tapes, and then I went to using a Discman, Walkman, and then LimeWire. I loved LimeWire, even though it gave my laptop
Viruses.
viruses.
I think LimeWire killed everybody.
But I feel like if we're gonna talk about playlisting and streaming, we have to talk about LimeWire because LimeWire was how we got a lot of, I feel like it's how a lot of the internet generation we got our
Yeah.
songs
Yeah.
from LimeWire. We just could go on LimeWire. You can download anything.
Anything.
Songs, albums, videos. And people were downloading some very,
Films.
very sketchy things. So then from LimeWire, I think here's the interesting question I want to ask. So I'm gonna answer the question.
Okay.
What was the first music streaming app you used? So for me, it was Google Play. It was the Google Play system. I remember, I think some of the first songs I went from there. Then from Google Play, I went to Deezer. Then from Deezer, I went to nothing. Because I remember at some point I wasn't really using any streaming
yeah.
service. And then it went back to Google Play. Well, now they're YouTube Music. But yeah, Google Play, Deezer, nothing. Then Apple Music. And then now I have like about 7-8 apps on my phone for different
think
things.
Mine was. I'm trying to remember. I think my earliest memory, I think mine was Spotify.
Wow.
Yeah. Why is that surprised?
No, because like when you talk to a lot of Nigerians, it's not Spotify is the first streaming
Yeah.
app. It's
That's
usually Deezer. Deezer's like, I feel
Yeah.
like Deezer has done, like they did such a great job because they were like one of the first only streaming apps that were available in Nigeria.
Yeah, they are. Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree to
They were
that.
the first before the rest of them. So
But-
Spotify.
I had a couple friends back then that actually put me on Spotify, and the kind of person I am, they said, "Oh, Spotify is not in Nige." And me, I will always find a way. Me, I found
VPN
it.
gang. VPN gang.
Straight up. And funny, okay, I don't know if I should even say this outside, but okay, you know what? I'm never going to say it. But let's just say it's a VPN. Let's just say it's a VPN. But Spotify was my first. I think I fell in love with it because back then I wasn't paying for it, so it was free.
Yeah.
Free on your
wow.
free on your laptop. I mean on your phone you could literally skip 6 songs, then you have to pay. On your laptop it's free. You just only hear
Oh,
ads for
sorry.
like
Did
30
anybody here
seconds.
use Pandora? I use
No,
Pandora.
I didn't use Pandora.
I didn't use
Never touched
Pandora.
I use Pandora.
Never touched
Wow, I've used a
Pandora.
lot.
No.
I've used a lot of
Yeah, I think it's Spotify for me. Then I moved to Deezer because Deezer was my Nigerian card of accepting Deezer.
Exactly.
Yeah. Then I moved to Apple Music because my brother was doing family plan. So I was
You
paying
just
for
hopped on that one?
I was
Yup.
I was in paying for that. Then after Apple Music, I kind of just said, you know what, let me just go back to my Spotify. So I started paying for that. Then I used Spotify till last year, when I got an email from YouTube about, oh, YouTube Music is this. They start advertising in front of me. I was like, okay, let me. Since I'm a YouTuber, I actually did a video on it. I kind of reviewed all the major streaming services, and I use YouTube Music, and I haven't looked back since. I
Wow.
swear.
Okay.
I have been there
That's so
since January this year. I haven't moved back. I mean, I have Spotify on my phone. When I listen to playlists, I maybe like last year. I go back there, but permanently or all the time, YouTube Music.
Interesting.
I said I've pressed play, and I didn't skip a song for 2.5 hours. Like I was shooting something for 2.5 hours when I was editing. I didn't skip a song. One song I did not skip.
That's crazy.
Like it's incredible to me when I think about it. So I recommend anybody watching this. YouTube Music is probably the best streaming app you can get right
Okay.
now. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I know I'm
Okay,
advocating.
as in,
Also, they're not paying me for
okay.
this, so
I was about to
nobody's
say-
paying me for this. So.
Have you get some affiliate commission from this?
Also,
As in-
another reason why YouTube Music is great is that you can listen to mixtapes and unreleased songs. That is
Yeah.
what Spotify, Apple
Okay.
Music, or nobody can give you.
I do say that I feel like
Do?
if there's any song you're looking for that wasn't officially released, like for example, the Nicki Minaj verse on
Kanye West.
Kanye West song, like that verse was a very good verse.
Yeah, you can get that on
It's
YouTube.
not officially
Yeah.
out, so you can't find it anywhere else. You have to find it on YouTube Music,
Yes.
and then a lot of independent artists like
But I would
Sorry.
contest that you can also find it on SoundCloud.
No, that's the thing. You can't.
you can't find it on
You can't
SoundCloud.
find it on
Really?
SoundCloud
You
is
can't.
very strict right now.
Now.
In the past,
Now.
In the
So
past,
here's YouTube's
now.
thing. So here's YouTube's thing, right? Anything that's on YouTube is on YouTube Music.
yeah.
That's
Fair.
that's
Okay,
it.
fair.
So that's
Fair.
that's
But
that's
but I
that's
feel
the trick
like
they're using.
okay, for me, my first ever streaming platform, like I said before, was SoundCloud, and that's okay. I spent the later part of my high school life in the UK, so when I was done with LimeWire, when LimeWire was becoming like
A problem.
So much of
a problem.
problem.
Yeah.
The first place I found myself was SoundCloud. And for me on SoundCloud, it opened the door to an
Different artists, yeah.
different.
Yeah,
I
SoundCloud
was
has
shook.
really good
Like
artists.
I can
I'm not
remember
gonna
the
lie.
very first song that I heard on SoundCloud till today because like I couldn't believe that kind of music existed
On Sound.
from coming from Nigeria and not being as exposed to like music that wasn't, Nigerianized, or
Nigerianized,
hip
that's
hop or
a good
or
word.
pop or R&B was you fit into this bracket.
Yeah.
But like I was with a sea of artists that didn't fit into any brackets, and it was incredible.
I mean, SoundCloud was like it's like what AudioMac is, like, in my opinion. They were like mixtape upcoming artists. Put your
Kind of like a
music on this
jumping point.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put your music on this platform. People will hear it, and it's for free. I think now they're trying to monetize it. I'm not.
Yeah,
paying.
man.
Yeah,
I'm
SoundCloud.
not-
Every time I
SoundCloud,
open
I'm not
SoundCloud, they're
paying.
like,
they
please
killed
pay.
my dick.
Like, I'm
They
not
killed me,
paying.
man.
I'm
I
not
was
paying
I was
99
upset.
Like, I mean,
I'm not paying that.
I hope
99
you
for
know running a
SoundCloud.
streaming service is
It's-
expensive.
Yeah, I know,
I'm
but
not, no doubt.
they
But I'm
took
not paying
away.
that
They
99.
took away from
I'm
the
talking
like.
and I'm not even paying for it.
I'm
I
not
already
paying
pay for a lot.
99.
You
Like,
get.
I
I
already
I
pay
would
for
not
a lot.
pay extra for like that SoundCloud as well. Also, because I feel like I have that affiliation with SoundCloud. Like, as like when you're a kid and you like say, okay, yeah, this is my childhood thing, and then they suddenly slap money on top of it, and you're like,
Yes, I can
What?
Get, I can get free somewhere else.
you get.
Basically.
So
I
Yeah.
think if there was any reason for me to even pay for SoundCloud, I mean, not that I want to pay. I wish I could pay, but like
can't
I feel
You
like I can. I think all these streaming services have all their selling points. Like for example, I use Apple Music because of course you have your own. It's very user friendly. Like the home, like I go to my library, I know where I know.
as in,
I know. Please
just
allow me to
chill.
speak.
Thank you.
I go to my library, I know where everything is.
Mhm.
I go to my playlist, I know where everything is. And it's easy. It's easy for me to just open a screen and find what I want. With Spotify, I think that Spotify is better like for discovery. Like Spotify's recommendations like is really, really good.
Fully
You
agree.
will find a
Fully
new
agree.
artist.
It's
Fully
With
a
agree.
Apple
one.
Music, you might not find any new artists, but you listen to your artist and you'll enjoy it.
Yes.
Spotify, you'll find new people. Now, YouTube Music, what I think they have over the rest is the algorithm. And they're
Yeah.
taking the algorithm from YouTube because they have
It's what you
already...
search for now.
Exactly. And they have already developed an algorithm on, like, already YouTube videos. Like, YouTube on a regular has a really, really powerful algorithm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, obviously, they took that algorithm and they apply it to the music side. And I think their algorithm is very, 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 very good.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. But... I don't know. I don't think
I-
YouTube Music is like I would
Can
not.
I would
jump
try
onto
raise
it.
up my hand.
I've
I
tried
want to
it.
raise up my
Okay.
hand, please.
Yeah, raise your hand.
Please, how is Apple Music? How is?
Oh.
No, I have to come back to that
What do you
because
mean?
Why are you bringing it
I
back?
think, funny enough, I think it's the opposite for me. Apple Music's UI is it's very. The thumbnails for one are very small. I don't like that. It looks very chunked up in one place. when you compare that to Spotify, that everything is kind of big, spacious, you see what you're doing. Is it just the fact that you're just used to Apple Music as opposed to
Nah.
it's easy?
It's
Nah.
easy.
Because I've
I
had
mean,
people
it's
that tell me
easy.
that
Apple Music is so
is
easy.
very.
I
don't
it's
know.
so easy.
It's so easy.
I feel like Apple Music is much easier than these guys.
Also, I
Than
kind of feel
Spotify?
like
I said me
okay.
personally,
it's
me
a
Deola
personal thing, but I
Adebiyi.
also kind of feel like, okay, because I've had, like you said, an iPhone, and I have on my Mac. Over time, I've had, like, obviously iTunes, and then iTunes moved into the whole Apple Music, and that progression for me was like kind of, they took me with them, and so getting into Apple Music wasn't a difficult thing. So I see it
Yeah.
as easy.
Apple Music really, like, if you had an iTunes account, if you were actually buying music, they actually made, like, going from, okay, you buy music on iTunes to actually being a subscriber on Apple Music very, very easy. Like,
Very.
everything was just very seamless, because I do remember buying music on iTunes, and then one day I had Apple Music. I was
And
like,
I'm like,
What's
oh,
this?
this
here
is mad.
I am. Like, it was easy.
Even I
It
can
wasn't
just get the music.
exactly. It wasn't hard or anything. Then again, I think the reason why I haven't been like a Spotify guy is because I can't imagine myself going through the stress to use a
No,
VPN.
it's really not that
I know it's not that
No, it's
difficult.
long,
I swear,
man.
funny enough,
But I do not want to
If-
open an app so that I can
Can
listen
open
to an
an
album
VPN
or
doesn't
music.
always have to be open. Once you've done it once, that's
You
it.
know what? After this, you show me.
You
because
show
Like it's legit. Once you put it
you
on,
do it.
that's it, and you're
You
done.
should do a whole tutorial about that, because honestly,
Actually, I should.
to me,
That's
it's
a great video. That's a great
But the thing is
video.
that I want to do
Content
that, but a lot of
queen.
people have already done that already. But
So
I
what?
add my own sha.
Exactly.
But anyway, personally, Sha, Apple Music isn't so great for me. I still advocate for YouTube Music, and you guys should really try it. I really want you
I've
guys.
tried
What
YouTube
about
music. I've
the-
actually paid for YouTube Music because
Still pay for it now.
I will
Pretty
try it.
straightforward.
Definitely will
I'm
try
okay.
it.
I'm okay
always
where I am.
open to trying new things. Speaking of trying new things, I haven't actually tried your platform, so sell me.
Sell it to us.
As in,
please.
oh wow, I don't like being.
On the spot.
So should I hide? Okay, so if there's anything I'll say about UdoX is that UdoX is human curated. So there's no algorithm, it's us music listeners who listen to Nigerian music, who listen to international music, and who have, in my humble opinion, really good taste in music, actually putting together playlists for you guys. And they're not just like random playlists. Like, all our playlists that we put together have heart and soul and ideas behind them.
Okay.
And I like to say that at UdoX, we like to make sure like every song has a home. So every song, no matter what kind of song you have, no matter what kind, you might be alternative, pop, EDM, R&B. We have two EDM playlists on UdoX. We have about 3 workout playlists on UdoX. 2 are Nigerian, 1 is international. We have how many? We actually try our best to make sure that there's a home for everything. So that is what I'll use to push UdoX. And also, it's Nigerian owned, so grow the naira.
I like the fact that, first of all, you said
It's human curated.
human curated, but
Yeah.
the fact that you said Alte and then alternative separately, I love you. Okay, thank you.
Yes, there's a very big difference, and I
Thank
feel like
you.
I can even say that I don't like the term Afrobeats, because I feel like the West uses Afrobeats to kind of just like label everybody
Yeah.
and generalize. When meanwhile, like, as Nigerians, we all know that whiskey. You like the what do you call, the UK charts or the American charts would put Santi and Wizkid in a chart together and call it
Yeah, and
Afrobeat.
call it
But 3 of
Afrobeat.
us know that
Wizkid
Santi and
and Santi
Wizkid
are
are
not the
2
same.
very, very different
Different
artists
artists.
making 2 very different sounds.
Precisely.
Which is why I say Alte and alternative, because alternative is like a very general word. You
Yep.
can have rock, you can have EM, you can have rock, indie. You can have so many genres under alternative, and then Alte is like Alte.
Yeah.
That's different. And even under Alte, they're like,
There's still
guys
stuff.
do
still-
exactly. So it's different. Like, so
I'm very passionate about that topic, so I'm just
I
glad.
can tell.
no, I think
I'm
if
just
I think
glad.
if you work in the music industry, especially if you work with like Alte artists, like, which you obviously do, you'll be very passionate about it, because these guys are actually creating like a different type of music, and it's not alternative. You can't label it alternative because it's
Yep.
not. It's
just not.
Alte. It's different, and a lot of people just don't like the term Alte. I understand because it has this like terrible negative connotation.
I'm so actually curious why though. Like, I actually
has-
want to know.
I think it's because it has. This is my opinion. Of course, you'll come in because you work
No,
with
because
them.
I've met with some that actually call themselves that. They say
Yeah.
that, so it's not like a negative thing to them. But I know some say, "Don't call me that,"
I
and I'm
feel
so
like
curious to know why that is
I
the
feel
case.
like from what I know, I feel like the negativity comes from people that are even outside the industry, not in the industry. I've not met anyone that says, "Oh, don't call me Alte." But I know like there are people on Twitter, on social media go, who are these Alte guys? Who these Alte guys think they are? Oh, they wear dirty sneakers and the girls don't wear bra. I've seen someone actually say that
Yeah.
like
No, I've
Alte
seen
people
that.
don't wear they wear dirty clothes, girls don't wear bra, their hair is somehow that's Alte. They all, rich people's kids, all these kind of things. And I'm just
And
like, why are you hating from outside of the
they
club?
dress
You
Are
weird.
can't
you
even get
upset?
in.
Are you upset that you're not part of them? Are you upset that you have to wear bra? Is that your problem?
You can't take it off, yeah.
You can remove your whole bra. No, because like I don't like if you were in the industry if you were in the how do I say, you can't critique something you're not a part of, in my
Yep.
opinion. If you write, how will I explain? I want to explain my what I mean by that. I mean like
Yeah.
if you're an art critic, of course you have studied art. You understand art to an extent for you to be able to critique art. But if you're just a random person on the internet, you're not a musician, you don't work in the business, you don't know anybody in the business, all that you know is that they wear dirty sneakers and don't wear bra, and you hate on them. Why? Like,
Yeah.
it makes no sense. But you, tell us.
I mean, for me, you're right. It's mostly people that are not exactly in the industry that have this like negative things to say about the alter community, and like you said, dirty sneakers, they don't wear bra, their hair is colored, they have piercings on every side of their body. Like, okay, cool, no problem.
Are we disturbing you?
Ah, Nobody disturbing you. Do you? Let me do my own thing, But at the same time, I also feel like for a while, 2016 to about when the Alter Cruise come out, like end of 2017,
Like
2017.
yeah,
Yeah.
till about that point, even the Alter guys were not sure whether to
Label
label
themselves.
themselves, that they were still kind of wearing. And that's because Nigerians don't like anything that's different. Once you come out with something that's not the same as the norm, if you are not the norm, you are suddenly
Alte.
yeah,
Yeah.
cast
Yeah,
away.
there's that thing they used to say back then that musicians basically, you've not blown until they play your music in like a bus stop or
You
something
know,
like that. Yeah, there's
if you
that
don't go
saying.
through the OG routes,
Yeah, that kind of
then
thing.
you're
But I think
you're
funny,
not
I think
it.
Santi was the one that actually he just did his own. He was just in his lane. Like, bro, I'm going to just do me. I really don't care what
You know,
anybody wants to
I
say.
love the Santi story because people start from Santi, but when I was in high school, and this now shows off when how young I am. That's stressful. But when I was in high school,
Santi wasn't
Ozzy
Santi.
B,
He was Ozzy
Well,
B.
he was
He was a
Ozzy
rapper,
He
B,
yeah.
was a
I know.
rapper.
and man, that for me, I remember the first time I heard Ozzy B, and I was like, this nigga
Okay,
is going
Loki
to
Sha.
be
Loki
it.
Sha. I wasn't really messing with him back then, Sha.
What?
Loki. Because he was doing the rapper thing. It was him, LOS back then, him,
Yeah.
Bridge, Bolaji, all of them. I wasn't really messing with him, I'm not gonna lie. I was like, alright, man, he's just a normal, top of the mill rapper that's out there. And I think it's when I heard, was it Gangsta Fear? I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, let me pay attention to what this guy's doing. So I think that's where it really kicked off for me personally.
So I have a question for you. So we've been talking about Alte artists, and we know that you host the Lemon Curd, which is your event, the concert, the festival that you guys have. And I wonder, what has been the response? Because I know when it comes to the Lemon Curd, you're not going to see the big name acts that a lot of Nigerians would expect to go to at a concert. So I wonder, how has taking Alte acts and putting them in front of a crowd and getting people to listen to their music and getting people to experience that music actually live? Because I feel like live music is so much different from like the way you listen to a song. Like the way Beyonce performs a song at a concert is very different from the way she sounds on her song in the studio. So how has it been taking all these acts and putting them in front of a crowd and taking basically what you do, Lucid Lemons, and taking it offline?
So with the lemon curd, it first of all started. It was meant to be an open mic. Can't lie. The first ever lemon curd was planned to be like an open mic. The idea was to bring some of these artists that we have kind of found online, to a space where they wouldn't feel like they have to beg to
To
be
get on those
Like, please
yeah
now
to
push me.
get
Let me
part yeah
perform
let
one
me
song, one
perform
song,
now
one song.
please
Nah,
and so like the idea was just to create a space where they didn't have to feel that way, where other countries, I guess they have a stepping stone. You'll find platforms that developing artists can get on and say that, okay, yeah, they're the headliners for this, and this is like their first, the first step before you hit the mobiles, that kind of thing. Like, and we don't have that here. We just have the headies.
Yeah.
No shade, but like,
Wait, haven't they stopped that?
No, they had one
they
last year.
haven't.
Didn't they have the headies last year? They did. Of course they did. They have the headies every year.
I guess I'm out of touch.
Yeah.
Ah.
So like, for me, the lemon curd. Okay, developing artists, they don't have a lot of experience, right? So they don't have a lot of experience getting on a big stage, being in front of a big crowd, performing, and what that takes. They just think it's like, oh,
Come on, shout.
come on,
Like-
shout. I'm in the studio. You're not in the studio anymore. You're on a stage. So giving them that first experience for me is really important. Even if it goes bad, you've had that experience and okay, I'm never going to do this type of thing again. Because they're like new to that space, they haven't really been in that space. I'm really happy to give them that opportunity. With Lucid Lemons, we've always kind of curated like developing artist sounds, try to put out playlists, try to put out body of works that compile a lot of like younger people's sounds, younger like developing artist sounds. And so the lemon curd is just an extension of that. It's just, okay, you're gonna come to an event knowing that you're not coming here to see Davido. You're not gonna see Wizkid. You may see Black Magic, you may see Style Plus, just to rein in that nostalgia, because I'm literally a nostalgia freak. I love it. I just love it. But like, just being able to put these guys on stage with people of that kind of caliber as well, and being able to put them on stage with their peers gives these artists a sense of, I may be just starting out and maybe developing, but like I have the potential to do more, and just giving them that kind of first step helps them to achieve more. I feel it helps them to like try and get themselves to a higher position to get to that level, and also it just gives them that kind of sense of, after they've done it, they're like, yeah, well, I've done my first gig, my first bigger gig.
How do they use? Do they sign up, or how do they get
So
in touch, or I don't know?
my team, usually throughout the year, I'm always looking for artists. Like, I keep my eye on developing artists. If you ask me about most of my playlist and most of the music on my phone, it would be mostly developing artists. I'm always like trying to figure out, okay, this person could be the next big thing. This person could be really big, someone that I want people to know about. We have that section. We have the section which is people that are well known, where we bring in the LOS, the Santi, the Odunsi, who like obviously started like with Lemon Curd platform as well when we first started as well. But like they've progressed up to the point where they're like the headliners now. And people want to get on the stage with them. So like aside from that, we then have like a little competition called the Next Stop competition. People can send in their videos, and myself, the team, and if we have any partners at the time, would also go through those videos. And that's how I think Thames applied like 2 years ago. She took her video away though because she had like some issues with her manager, but that's how I found her. Alpha Ogini as well, and he performed at the Lemon Curd that year, just before he got on Emma's like tape. So like for me, seeing the progression of these guys, I don't know if you guys know Lana Aderemi, Lanere.
I don't know.
She's a spoken word artist, and her first ever performance was Lemon Curd 2. Now she has a whole play that she has taken across the UK.
Oh wow.
She's like written 2 books now, I think. And I'm just like, sis. So like the platform.
Maybe this is your platform. Dude.
That's the idea of the platform. It's like it's your stepping stone. It's taking you from being like an online artist that please put my music on your playlist, please, to having, okay, I'm gonna properly perform with a band or with a DJ or however you can, and learn from this experience, and knowing that when I'm done with this, anybody else who comes to me and says, come and perform for me, like, fam, I've already done my first gig on a big stage with a full production. So don't look at me like I'm a small boy anymore. I'm not.
Don't look at me.
I'm a small boy. I really like that.
Don't.
I like that.
So,
I like the idea. I feel like we need more platforms for emerging artists in Nigeria. I think that we don't have a lot of spaces where, I mean, apart from open mics, like if a random cafe or a restaurant decides to host an open mic, there's not really a lot of events where like a Nigerian artist, like an upcoming Nigerian artist, can go and say, yeah, I want to perform my music in front of a lot of people. So I think the Lemon Curd, and also there's this event that used to, I can't remember, is it Don't Drop the Mic?
Yeah,
I
don't
feel
drop
like
the
those
mic.
kind of events are very, very essential for
They're still
upcoming
on, though.
artists.
I know you guys know the one that happens every third, at least before COVID anyway.
Bogobiri?
The Bogobiri one.
Yeah.
I feel like the Bogobiri one is for more like live. It's not like
Yeah.
It's live band.
it's a
It's
live
live
band, but
band.
like how do I explain? I feel like it has a very different vibe. It's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but like, cause I've been to that, and the artists that perform there are like it's like a mix. It's not
Yeah,
like
it's
only
spoken
music.
word,
It's
it's
spoken
music,
word. It's
Yeah.
music and stuff like that.
It's
But like
comedy
a
too.
Yeah.
platform for just artists is very important because you need a sense of community. I think like that was what you're saying. Like these guys can see their peers and be like, oh, we're all in the trenches together. We're
Yep.
all trying to make music. We're all trying to, do something here. And when you have that sense of community, you feel like you're not alone, and you feel like you can have it motivates you to do better. And
And with
to create.
community, I also feel like it's also like an opportunity for them to like know each other. A lot of people, I remember, I think it was Lemon Curd 1 or 2, Odunsi and Lemav had worked together on Situationship, I think it was, but they hadn't met, or it was before, I don't even remember, but they hadn't met
In
up
person.
until the point where they actually met at the event. And I
had to
was
perform
like,
together at that
well, they
event.
didn't perform, well, Mav didn't perform, but like Odunsi was going to perform, and this was the first time actually
Meeting.
physically meeting and just being able to be like, my guy,
Alpha.
yeah, why,
Guys.
why guys,
Alright.
just being able to see. I remember another kid like coming up to me and obviously realizing that I'm probably the most stressed person in the building, so I definitely must be the person running the show. Being like, hi, his name is Daniel, and he was like, hi, I just want you to know that like I want to work with you because I've met Santi, I've met the LOS boys, I've met this guy from SDC, I've met Don Lee, all here, and they're just sitting down.
Chilling.
I didn't have to like go backstage or find my way backstage.
You don't have to beg someone
You
to
have
carry you backstage.
You get. I met my guys who are doing things that are inspiring me, and we are peers, and just having that community that is mostly online, but now being able to put them
Take
in
it
a
offline, and you can see
space.
people in person. I feel like it makes a difference.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
It's what I really like about Lemon Curd, and also what I like, if I can just humbly submit myself here, about playlisters. Because when it comes to playlisters, I'm always, so as you are always looking for emerging artists, I'm always looking for the next big song. Or I love good music, and I'm always on the hunt for the next big song that's gonna be in repeat in my head for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah.
So like with playlisters, what I've tried to do is bring people that also have good taste in music, and bring people that have I like to look for interesting taste in music, because I feel like we don't shine a lot of light on the other types of music that we have. I feel like I think the connotation we have with a lot of Nigerians, like, Nigerians only listen to Nigerian
Nigerian
music.
music.
When I can tell you that I know Nigerians that listen to K-pop
Oh,
way
yeah, I know.
more
Yeah.
Yeah.
than I'm pretty sure, some Korean people. I know people that love alternative music way more than like
Yeah.
you get. So there are these people that exist, and I want them to have an opportunity to like express themselves, express their favorite songs, express their favorite albums. So playlists is basically, you have an hour and you bring your playlist and you share your playlist of whatever it's supposed
Could
to
be
be.
anything.
Were you playlisting at what's that place in Ikoyi?
Downfall, yeah,
Bistro.
that
Oh
was
my god,
me.
I've been for like 5
Yeah,
of your
she actually
events.
brought me on there.
That's
and
I brought him on.
It was twice actually.
Yeah.
I've been there. It was so how I love going there, because I can just be chilling with my guys and I hear a song. I'm like, wait, what song is that?
That is my
Yeah.
aim
That
in
is
life. My
legit.
aim in life
Like she
is to
played one
introduce
song and I'm like,
people
whoa,
to
yo,
new
yo,
music
yo,
all the
go
time.
back there. What song is this?
I want people.
That's crazy.
I don't know if it's
It's-
just me, but the feeling of someone saying, "What song is that?"
Exactly.
It's
So
so-
when I came on and I look around and I see people bump it, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I'm doing my job.
And as
You feel
somebody, you
good.
feel very
Yeah,
good.
you
And as
really
somebody in you guys were saying that in secondary school you get, you're the music guy or the music girl. I listen to a lot of music, but people used to tease me a lot because
Oh, they still do to me too.
Same.
they teased me so much. And like, what would happen is that, okay, so after school, because we were all in boarding school in Ogun State, so all the music we would consume would be during the holidays.
Yeah.
So we'd come back to school with all the music
Music I've
knowledge,
ever heard.
and then say, "Do you guys know that Britney Spears song? That's Alicia Keys song, song, song." And then I noticed at some point that I would mention songs that
And
people didn't know.
nobody would know.
I'd be like, "Huh." They're like, is this one now with
With that weird
with that
music.
weird music taste, that kind
Yo.
of thing. So as that person, as that kid that grew up with that kind of thing, and I know that there are other people that maybe went through similar things, or maybe like, they feel alone, like, oh, I'm listening to this album and I really wish I could share this album with somebody.
Yeah, and you can't really play the albums in front of certain people because they're just
Exactly.
going to abuse it. Like,
And you
what is
can't,
this?
the thing is about, like, for example, if someone says, "Oh, pass me the aux," and you
Ah.
play a song, and then they're like, "What's this?"
No, oh, so
that
I
feeling.
have this thing.
God.
If it's my car and
Oh,
I'm
no,
driving my car,
Oh no, you can't do
you're
that.
listening to
me,
what
Maka.
I'm
I've
listening
listened
to.
to,
I
yeah.
don't care.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I
but
really
if
do
I'm not
care.
driving and
Like, it's not my car, like, I'll freeze. But
Yeah.
if it's me driving and it's my own
You
aux,
cannot
my
ask
own
me.
Bluetooth, you
Mm-mm.
cannot
That's
tell
it.
me
That's
to
your
this
change
is
the
so
song.
crazy because literally yesterday I was driving with I was in the car with the DJ who's like pretty popular, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you play music." I was like,
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Like, oh shit, what am I going to
What?
play? Because
"Okay." You get, it was A.
Oh,
So
it was
like,
A. Oh,
you
there
guys,
you go.
I was like, "Oh my god, I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
die." That's what this is. So like, I was like, okay, I'm the one that's playing the music. Everything I played, I was like, God, please, I'm playing this song. Let him just start bumping his head, because if it's not bumping, I'll die.
Low-key, sha. I mean, as much as I always like to say it's my car, but I like to play when I play song. Then my guy at the back, I was like, what song?
What song
song
is
be this?
that? Ah,
you always
And
want
I'm like,
that.
yeah,
You
So
know.
yeah.
that feeling, like, oh my god, like, I don't know if it's like validation or if it's like, yeah, I have good taste in music and people agree.
Yeah.
I want to make sure like everybody has that feeling. So
Yeah.
I try my best. I always say like, yo, if you think you have a great playlist, let me know and I'll set you up for an hour. And if your playlist is good and if people are bopping to it, you'll come back. You came back.
I would
you-
say that.
Yeah,
though,
you
yeah.
2 times.
She even had like, she played like 3 songs like back to back, and I'm like, what's all this? Actually,
All I do is listen to music. Like people
Like, I
think I'm
Shazam
crazy.
every single one, and I still bump. There's one you already know,
I know,
Kickback
yeah.
by Apollo.
Okay.
I still play that song till today. I played it on my way here,
I
so
think
it's a
like
song I
2
still
years
play.
old.
It's-
So
exactly.
that's what I love about playlisters. And right now I'm trying to find. Right now we're at a particular cafe in Lekki. I'm trying to find new places to. I want to take this experience to different places. Because what it does is that it makes your restaurant or your location stand out. That, okay, you're not just playing the regular Nigerian music that everybody will hear. Like, of course, not that, like, I'm saying I don't play Nigerian music or like the playlisters don't play Nigerian music, but it's a case of the Nigerian music that you won't hear, the Nigerian music that you always hear on the radio with us. And
Yeah.
I feel like we have it's a playlist is an opportunity for people that love music to shine a light on their favorite songs and on songs that you think should make it onto the airwaves and stuff like that. Of course, the Nigerian airwaves, they have their own rules. They know what they have to play to appeal to the mass market. But that means like so many songs fall off. Like
Yeah.
so many songs don't get played on radio, which are so good. So with playlisters, you have an opportunity to, like, your restaurant has interesting, unique, different kind of music, and then people are there sharing their taste, sharing what they just love, and the merge of it all is what I love, is what I do. So
I mean, speaking of artists, I know I was gonna ask, but I realized that you may not be able to give me the answer because it's stemming, or I'm trying to segue into streaming services and how much they pay these artists themselves. Because I know for one, again, I might just be
I don't think I even have the numbers.
giving
like
it.
that.
Yeah, I might just be giving a round figure. But I heard Spotify. Is it Spotify? Pays 12 cents
Pretty
per.
crap.
Yeah, 12 cents per listen, and I'm just like, how is that possible? I don't know if you have.
I can't, like, I work in a music streaming company and I don't even have the details of, I don't know any of that stuff. That's finance. That's, they figure all of that out, the splits, the royalties. That's it. But I think, like, as much as people would say, oh, streaming isn't paying well, I feel like, people say I feel like when it comes to streaming, people can say, oh, it's not paying well. Because you can say, oh, someone is paying 12 cents for a stream. But then there are people that are making money from streaming. There are different ways that you can For example, if you're an artist that's releasing an album, you release singles in anticipation for your album. And then you can release different versions of your album. You can release the acoustic version. You can release the deluxe version. You can release, like, if you reach out to a couple of DJs, I think Chike did this, Boo of the Booless. He had his regular album, and then he had an EDM dance remix version of the entire album. Yeah. I think if you're trying to game the system, I don't like using that word.
But the game
It
is
is
a
a
game.
game.
It is a game.
Like-
I mean, it is a game. So
Honestly.
if you're trying to play that game, you have to be smart.
Yeah.
Like, I noticed, because I see these things and I'm in the industry, so I know. I noticed that Kiana Lee, she's a new R&B star. She released a lot. Like, she released an album, and then after that album, for like a couple of weeks, she was releasing like snippets. Like, the album, let's say, was, I can't remember, like about 20 songs.
Yeah.
After that album dropped, she was releasing like 5 songs from that album on a mixtape on its own, like just calling it a different names. That's you trying to get those songs. If those songs weren't streaming, if you didn't stream the song on the first EP, maybe the second time around you're gonna stream it. Maybe the third time around you're gonna stream
That makes so
it.
much sense. That's what's his name is doing too. What's Wande call?
Yeah.
He let out an EP a couple last week, but
Yeah.
apparently only 2 new songs were
Only
there.
3.
Yeah.
3 new songs were there.
I mean, everyone's like, wait.
Taylor
Yo.
Swift did it. Taylor Swift, she calls it like, oh, it's a story. Like, all the songs she wrote are stories. In my head, it's like, nah, lie, nah, game. What you're just you're
No
re-releasing.
marketing.
I think if you're just re-releasing songs that you released the first time, a second time again, under a brand new name, it's still the same song. There's no remix. There's no new feature. It's just the same song, but it's you trying to get more streams and game the system. So I feel like if you're an artist in the streaming industry right now, you have to be smart and find ways to work the game and play the game as long as everybody else is doing. I think an example of this is Odunsi. Odunsi released an EP of 7 songs that was just 15 minutes.
Yep.
Like, that means that EP is going to be very easy for you to just put on repeat over and over and
And even
over
if you just
and
play
over
one
again.
song, it's gonna run through, and you'd like, oh wow,
And,
I've listened to the
that's
whole
the thing.
thing.
And also, as you said that, I feel like there are ways for artists to, you know, when you listen to an album and the album sounds like one big song.
Yeah.
Like, everything flows into each other.
Yeah.
That's how it's easier for you to just put it on repeat. So you're not like, there's no section for you to skip. There's no like, oh, when does this song start? When does this song end? It's just a continuous 45-minute stream of an artist making music. And again, if you're trying to work the system, especially in this corona times, like, you know, you can't have events, you can't perform in public anymore. You have to really learn how to work the system. And I think getting on playlists as well, reaching out to people like, yo.
Do you think it's the artist's job though to be? I mean, yes, you have a hand to play, of course. I feel in, you know, coming up with those ideas. But like, I have this big thing where I think the artist should sometimes just be the artist, and
of
it's
course.
important that you have the right people around you. And just a little plug that, like, obviously, Lucid Lemons, that's what we do. You know, we come up with really. What can I say? Like, the idea is that, like, we're content kings and queens, if you ask me, and we come up with really interesting, like, ways of ensuring that your music is replayable, and not just replayable, but like you are actually going to be able to monetize in this very stressful streaming industry the music you're putting out. Don't just put out your music. I hate when artists put out their music and then that's the end. Just I put out the music, okay, and I'm like,
oh yeah, it reminds me of what's his name? What's that guy? Is it Black Bones? That everywhere you went, this guy
Stream
was
Haba.
telling
Stream
everybody
Haba.
to
Stream
song.
Haba.
Like I was at the
People thought it
point
was
I
a
thought it was
joke.
annoying.
Yeah.
But after a while, I'm like, I
You know the
commend
funny
this
thing,
guy.
I actually like this. I actually like that song.
It's
It's a jam. I listen
It's a
to
jam.
it. It's a jam.
Yeah.
Initially, I didn't really like it because I was like, I was mostly annoyed by the fact that he was always in everybody's ear. And I realized, wait,
Nobody's doing it for him. He's trying to chuck. Okay, let me not.
it's okay.
Is he not?
It's okay. It's okay. It's
Let me
okay.
not
It's
talk.
okay.
Let me not say what I meant to say.
It's okay.
But clearly, I think he just realized that this music thing is for
But not
me.
everybody can do that. That's the thing.
He's a very likable character.
Yeah.
So I
And
think that has it's
Also,
a plus
another
for
thing about
him.
Black Bones is like I think he actually understands content and
Yeah.
he actually
He
because
does.
apart
Yeah.
from releasing music, if
He
you
was on
notice he makes exactly he does TikTok, he makes all these random videos. So I think, and this is what I also want to say is that when you're releasing a song, it's either your job as the artist. If you're an artist on your own, if you're not able to hire the people at Lemon Curd or work with them, if you're an artist on your
But
own,
not that
it's very-
expensive.
if you're not able to work with other people, maybe it's just you. You have to realize that your song is a story, and you need to figure out how you're going to tell the story of that song. So if you're sending it to me to put it on a playlist, why should I listen to your song?
Yeah.
Like, do you know how many songs come out in a day?
Yo.
Like,
Yeah.
so why you have to tell me the story? Why should I listen to your song? Why should people go out and dance to your song? Why should somebody listen to your song when they're sad? Why? Like, these are all the things that come with making music. And if you're an artist, you can't do that. You have to surround yourself with people that can do that for you.
Yeah.
Because in the end, streaming seems to be the future. Streaming seems to be, because everybody, like now, everybody's at home, sitting at home, listening to music. And, you know, you need to, and since artists can't perform in public, they can't make money from that anymore. Was it streams and merch?
Yeah.
Or you can do the thing that what's his name, Swiss Beats and Timbaland is doing, the versus thing on IG. And
Well, I mean, those are sweet.
it's
That's
so
sweet
crazy.
beats.
You know, it's so
you
crazy
call two
how
big people.
they did.
Like two.
When you think about
ogas.
it, they started from a place of just play the music from your phone or from
Yeah.
your AOX or something,
You're
and
even
now
going
they've
far.
transitioned into a band or you know,
you're
a
even going far.
background.
Let's look at no signals in the UK.
Exactly. They started with the whole radio thing.
Radio, like, come on. It started with, okay, me, I'm in my yard, you're in your yard, you play your
You
music,
play music, I play my
music.
music. Everybody votes.
As in everybody votes. Now it's a thing. They're having,
It's a
they're
thing.
trying to like build their own studio, and you know, like, you guys.
So it's
future is crazy.
Like she said, it's not just
The future is crazy, and the future is streaming. And I
Yeah.
feel like even though the future is streaming, we still have to find ways to take it offline, because you can form online communities and you can form offline communities. And I think offline communities is where it's very interesting, especially when it comes to making playlists and, you know, hosting events with artists and stuff, because in the end, you want to find a way to monetize it. You want to find a way to make money.
Of course.
You want to find a way to earn a living from all these things. So it's up to playlisters and people that work in the industry and artists themselves to figure out a way that everybody is happy. Because right now, everybody's complaining that, oh, we're
I
not
don't
making
make
money
money.
from streaming. We're not making money from... I mean, Mr. Easy came to tweet on Audio Max tweets. Or somebody posted a screenshot of them listening to his new song on Audiomack, and then he tweeted on top of it that there's no money in Audiomack. I'm not making any money from Audiomack. So if Mr. Easy can come on Twitter to say it for the whole world to see that these people are not paying me money, or I'm not seeing any money from this, it means that we need to have conversations and figure out how this works, how we're gonna get paid, because artists need to get paid.
Yep.
Mr. Easy will obviously get paid because he's Mr. Easy. He's a big guy. But how about, you know, the guy that's coming to Lemon Curd, that's just, you know, looking for inspiration? How does he get paid from streaming?
Yep.
How does he work all of that? So I feel like offline and online, they have to come together to work for a synergy, so that online, yeah, people are playing your music, but offline, people want to know who you are. And I feel like that ties in together with the brand story of what's your song about, who you are as an artist, and, you know, all these, you know, there's so many intricacies of releasing a song. Just like one song can have like
Honestly,
so much behind it.
It's not easy to release music. So when you do, you have to be intentional about it.
Yeah.
Super
And even
intentional.
with the way Burna Boy has more or less changed, he has kind of taken the level a bit further. You can't just release anything because you want to release it. Like, nobody's going to listen to that, in my opinion. Anyway, I think, again, people might disagree. I think that Zanku era is kind of just to me.
It's because of
kinda just
Corona.
phasing
Because
out.
we're not out to party anymore. Like, I feel like if Corona didn't happen, I feel like Zanku Music would have had is still a very good
No.
run,
That's why
because
you
we're all
need,
dancing.
Yeah,
with
that's
it.
why you need the online and offline, because
Yeah.
they kind of feed each other. Zanku was based on the offline.
Yeah, because,
of
you know,
dancing,
best
being
said,
out.
You know, but the thing is
dance
that
and everything.
I think if I listen to that right now, it's a meal.
You're not going anywhere now.
You're not going
You're not
anywhere.
going
Like,
anywhere.
you know, everybody knows that music is a mood. You listen to sad music when you're sad. You listen to happy music when you're happy. You listen to dance music when you want to dance. So if you're listening to Zanku music and you're sitting alone in a room, I'm gonna ask you,
So,
are
all
you
right.
okay?
Like,
Is everything okay? Because like
okay.
you're listening to Besse and you're just
No. I actually know people like that. They wake up in the morning, and you know, when I wake up, I play like soft R&B. I don't want to, you know, task my mind. I know people that wake up and the first thing they play what's the name of this movie? Burna Boy and Zlatan song. I swear,
Killing
all
them.
killing
It's
them. All the
motivational.
even
It's motivational
It's
now.
motivational. Killing them. You know, you're
Killing
killing
them,
them in
sha.
the
No, nah, like no. I hear, and even when they're driving in the morning, I'm like, bro, it's 6 a.m.
It depends on
Why
what-
are you listening to this?
It depends on what, like, it depends on, like, I don't know. I mean,
You had Flo Milli in the morning.
I listen to Doja Cat when you're getting ready for work. You feel so good with yourself. So believe me, I mean, again, it's the mix of. I don't want to say that because Corona, that's why, but I feel like, as you said, it's a good you have to mix the good, you have to mix the offline and the online.
Yeah.
Online, people are dancing to Zanku, there are videos being posted. Offline, you're dancing to it, and if you don't have the opportunity to dance to that music, you're not gonna listen to that music, which would, in theory, lead to the decline of that kind of music coming out. Like, I remember when Aluna, she's of Aluna Joe, she's an electronic EDM DJ artist. I read an article when she released her album, and they were like, did you have any issues thinking of releasing a dance record, like a dance record in Corona? And she's like, yeah, she was thinking about it, but she's like, the same energy I want you to have if you're at a rave is the same energy I want you to have if you're in your room. Like, enjoy that energy no matter where you are, whatever that
That's
space
different,
is.
though. That's very different.
That's what she said.
Because
And I understood. I was like, okay, makes sense. I mean, there are sometimes you just want to dance in your room.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I only do that when I'm like shooting like B-rolls for stuff, because obviously the B-rolls you can't obviously hear the sound in the video, so
Yeah.
I blast music the way I want to. But when I'm editing, I don't want to be hearing best.
And
I
I
don't want to hear
It's a
that.
mood. It's
It's
the
a
mood.
Like, I don't want to
mood.
hear that. Like,
It's
I want
a
to be
mood.
hearing very, very soft R&B that's just in the background. It's not loud. It's just
Yeah.
You
in
know,
the
it's very
background.
funny. You know how you're saying that, you want to listen to soft R&B while you're editing. There are some people that when they work out, they're listening to soft R&B. You think like when you're working out, you're supposed to listen
Oh,
to high
I do that
energy.
sometimes.
Exactly.
No, I do that sometimes.
What? I can't do
no, I
R&B and
switch.
workouts.
No, I switch.
There's
I can
no
be
way.
listening to rap music, then I can switch to R&B almost immediately. So I mean,
But you're talking about the decline in Zanku, but then there's the rising in the podcast as well in this time of, like, obviously with a lot of people now going into podcasting and like people trying to make money on the podcasting scene. What do you guys think about that?
so I think for me, podcasts it's to me. I think radio won't be phased out totally, but I think the huge radio audience is going to start listening to podcasts, because sometimes when I'm just driving to work or when I'm driving anywhere, I start listening to I don't know if you guys know him, MKBHD. He's
Yeah,
one of
he's
the
a tech-
he's a one of the
top
top
tech
tech YouTubers.
YouTuber.
And I just listen to him when I'm going, and before I know it, I've arrived at my destination. I don't necessarily need to always listen to music. I always listen to Jola and
I said
FK.
what I said.
I said what I said.
They are hilarious.
Yeah.
By the way. I listen to them just because. And I think for me, a lot of people are starting to do podcasts because they see that there's a need for it. In my opinion, they also see that they can also get money from that. It's the same way people also start YouTube channels to just because there's a need for that.
Yeah.
And they also can get money from that. So,
I have a podcast.
shit. No, plug yourself. Plug.
You know.
Plug.
So it's called The Tea with MT, and it's a late night podcast, and it's with me and my girl Malobi, and we just started it basically not because of any like for money or anything, but just for the fact that like we were having a conversation about like some real grown up things, and like people were coming on the live and like really
Agreeing.
what I was like,
Also,
you mean
by the
you
way,
go
this
through
is for
this?
late
You go
nights.
through?
It's not for kids.
It's not for kids. It's not for kids
Not
at
for
all.
kids.
But like, you know, people were really like interested in the fact that we were actually like openly talking about some things that we wouldn't
Normally
talk about like on a regular basis. So, you know, the need for it, like you said, is what drew me into like podcasts and like actually listening to podcasts was something I did before until like now. Now that I have, well, we're doing this podcast, I'm like, okay, well,
Now you have to listen to others.
yeah,
So, you know how it
so I know
works.
like what's
Yeah,
going
yeah.
on. So it's very interesting for me that the fact that people are moving, and I'm not a radio girl. Like I don't listen to
Yeah, I
radio
don't
that
listen to
much.
radio.
So
I have to listen to radio for my job.
I don't listen
yeah,
to radio
man.
at all.
But I
don't
think
really.
you know, I don't want to say that radio is disappearing or radio is dying, because I feel like there'll always be a need for radio. There's always gonna be, like, I feel like radio number one is the easiest medium for anybody to access. You can buy, what do they call those radio? The little radio
ones
sets.
with
Oh no,
Yeah,
no,
that's what I'm saying.
phones have radios.
Exactly,
anyway,
phones have radios. You
so-
can buy those radios. It's very easy
My
for
grandma
anyone.
uses radio.
Exactly. It's very easy for you to get a lot of information from the radio. Radio is one of the, I feel like it's a very easy way for a lot of people to get a lot of information at the same time.
Yeah.
So I feel like radio will still be there. If you've noticed, radio has even started moving online. You have online radio now
Yeah.
and all those kind of things. So I love the idea of podcasts. I actually want to start a podcast.
Come on,
But
tea with MT.
invite me, I'll come. I'll come. Please invite me. I love the idea of podcasts, and I like the idea of radio, even though I don't like Nigerian adverts, which is why I don't listen to radio, to be very
Oh,
honest.
not just don't listen to radio because sometimes the OAPs just go off the point. I'm just like,
Yeah,
nah, I like
hate
my
all the
music, and plus the music they
arguing
play is
and,
not really what I want to listen to.
I
Which
listen
is
to
why we like
playlists.
playlists, because which
Yeah.
is why I think playlists are like kind of not. I don't want to say playlists are the future. Playlisting is the future. Before I toot my horn and then
yeah.
in 2 years' time nobody listens to playlists anymore. But I feel like with a playlist you can validate. People can validate their taste in music with a playlist, and you can listen to particularly if a well curated playlist is well curated. You can listen to exactly what you want from
Yeah.
a playlist.
Yeah.
You
yeah,
want
yeah,
a song, you want heartbreak songs, but you want a particular type of heartbreak songs. There is somebody that has curated that playlist for you. You want a
I'm
yoga
happy that he
playlist.
broke up with me.
Yes,
Playlist.
exactly. You want a yoga playlist that is
That's
not
funny.
really like that is like maybe EDM or hip hop based. There is somebody that has done that before. Do you want a playlist of happy songs that don't sound happy? There's probably a playlist for that. So with playlists, I feel like you're able to number one share your taste, and somebody is able to absorb your taste and discover new music and
Yeah.
enjoy everything that comes with playlists. Which is why I prefer playlists over radio, because
Yeah.
with radio
It's
it's
random.
whatever they're going to play.
random, right?
Yeah.
But with a playlist, like, okay, this playlist is called sad.
Music, like
So
every
this is what I'm going to
all
listen to.
25,
This playlist
26
is called
songs.
Mood. This is what I'm going to listen to.
Okay.
So the idea of playlists and taking them, offline and online is just, it's my thing. I love it so much.
Yeah. It's the future. It really is the future.
She has said it, so it's not me.
I'm telling you now. Mark my words.
She said it's the future.
So to round up our conversation, what would you say? What would you say is a good rounding up for our conversation that we had right now?
Putting me on the spot like this.
I'm putting you on the
Oh,
spot.
okay, can we go to her then come back to me? Let me hear what she says, then I can take from her. And
Wow.
then I cannot conclude mine. Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay. Well, I guess for me, if you have a platform, or if you're like trying to build a community of people that are into a particular thing, music in this case, a group of people that are really into a certain kind of music, in my case alter, developing artists, don't neglect the online, don't neglect the offline. They kind of work together. You need to be able to take your online community offline, because I feel like if you have an online community only, that's like having a social media manager and then saying that person is meant to build a community for you. They don't do that. There's a community manager, there's a social media manager. You have to learn how to integrate
both of them.
and learn that you have to kind of meet a need, and the idea of having the offline community is to meet that need of being validated, like you said, that my taste is pretty good, and I have people that like my taste. There's people out there that sorry.
They can blip that out.
You can flip that. People out there that really like my kind of music as well. So yeah, I mean, that's what I have to say. It's a good mix. You need to ensure that you have a good mix, and follow Lucid Lemons and follow me.
I think for me, it's just like we've been talking about playlists, and I kind of agree with what Deola said right at the end. That playlist more or less is. Why are you?
Because you validated me. So
I beg. It's just basically having. Rather, playlists are important because it just gives the listeners a place to go when they're in a particular mood, right? I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm happy, I'm whatever. It just gives them that, okay, I'm going here to listen to this. Not that they go in here and listen to random music. So that's why I think playlists are important. Personally for me. Also, like she said, follow me, KJOS __.
You went far.
Oh, I know. Man, I don't hide. I'm shameless plug. KJOS __. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter. Check my YouTube out. I make great content, so.
He makes great content. Yeah,
Alright,
I checked
so
in the break.
it's my turn for my last plug. My my co-panelists have said a lot, and I don't think I have much to really round up except go to events, go see your favorite artists, support them offline, because They need it.
they
They
need
need to
it.
know that you exist. Apart from pay them, support them. If they're having a ticket like 5,000, I know that's a lot. I mean, in this economy and the way dollar is going, I know it's a lot. But them too, they are feeling it. And if you really want to support music,
Yeah.
go to their offline events, go to their listening parties, retweet them. As we said, the combination of online and offline is very important for an artist, and it's very important in music. It's very important in media. So if you are a playlister, I put these playlists together. Holler at me. My handle is Deola D3ola. We'll work something out. I'll find you a place
I
to
like
play
how
your
she did her
music
so
at.
elegantly.
As in,
Just
damn.
This
plugged
is
it
now
in.
my work. So if you're a playlister, support these artists offline and offline. Support them offline by playing their music in spaces. Support them online by retweeting them, sharing their work and stuff like that. And if you're an artist, never neglect offline and never neglect online. So yeah.
My own handle is Tomisin underscore AKINS. Okay, Tomisin TOMISIN_AKINS. But follow Lucid Lemons.
Lemons.
Lucid LUCID
Before my Oga
Lemons.
says I didn't do this, please follow
Yeah.
Thank
UdoX.
you.
Please follow UdoX Music. We love you. Please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. Thank you.
All right.